This is a continuation on this video, brother. You can't be having hour-long videos, man. Like, god damn, it makes it difficult for me. Because that 40 minutes ends up being an hour and so, like 20-something minutes. You know. And hopefully I can get all of this. I mean, let me check something. Let me check something. I'm downloading a game again. Hoping while I'm doing this, it doesn't completely fuck, like, we'll cut it, because if there's no space, the video will just cut out, and I don't want that shit to happen. So let's uninstall you. Man, I'm running out of fucking space between me making my game and all the games I have on here. I don't really play Zaneless Zone Zero. I need to just uninstall that game. But we are back to the Indians invading Texas and taking their jobs.
Shared but empty office.
I think it's
Why
left
rent
off,
out
yeah,
your own
40
entire
minutes.
office when you could share one with several other companies? This was even more cost effective.
Hello, worksite inspection.
Yeah, and again, you register one workspace, or like it could even be 4 or 5 workspaces in the same building. I mean, it's more cost effective than renting out 4 or 5 different buildings. I mean, they're absolutely playing the system, and I don't even think there's malicious intent with the Indians, right? They're like, we can do this and it's fine. They're probably even being told that, yeah, you can do this. It's perfectly legal. You can game the system, and they think, okay, fine, that's what we're going to do. It's just to be the easy. Where the malicious intent comes from is T-Mobile hiring these people over Americans that absolutely are firing those who've been working for 20, 25 years and hiring Indians just so it can pay them about 1/5 as much. That's where the malicious intent comes from.
Much of the commercial real estate economy is propped up by companies like these renting out units to have a worksite on paper for their H-1B employees that are nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
Worksite inspection. Worksite inspection. This country is all an illusion. No one is around.
So they should have 4 people working on site. Do we have anyone here today? No one? Okay. So you pay them $20 a month to get an office space in the ether, maybe a mailbox, so you have paper compliance. But where are these people working? In the digital mailbox? In the cyberspace?
No, they're
Where
working
are
at the
these
companies.
Indians? This country is a joke, and you're living in it, and you're paying for it.
Yeah, like we've erected this completely idiotic system, and again, like major companies benefit, and I said this in my part 1, who benefits from this? It's like, it's not you, the American citizen, it's not your family, you're being replaced. You know, you're not being able to find a job. It's the Indians. That, again, they're gaming the system. There's no real force to remove this because the people that want it benefit from it. And you're just sort of left at the wayside. And again, when this happens, you force people. You know, people who probably have their own prejudices, like you now force them to be openly racist about this, you know. Or pointing this out isn't racist, but there are racist people that will latch onto this and be like, yeah, get this out of here. And the thing is, the situation, they'd be correct. It's like, why would an American, why allow themselves to just be replaced? Or, what am I saying? I actually know somebody who was let go because of some diversity initiative, and he was fine with it. I'm like, why? Like, imagine having no self-respect for yourself. And again, it's not like you were bad at the job. It's not like you're a dumb person. It's just you have this worldview where you're fine with this. I mean, I don't know if he found a better job. If he found a better job, good. But it's like, what the fuck?
Look at this, fully empty. Move right here. We have Sapnex LLC. 3 companies are registered to this location. Looks to be a completely empty office, nothing in there. Take a look. Emptiness is all I can see. We have 4 H1Bs.
Yeah, they're probably off.
And guess who comes back?
They're on the
Shand
beach.
Parvathaneni. Our same attorney is the recurring thread. He's threaded into many of these companies in different locations all across the DFW area. Could it be a coincidence? Very well could be. He could.
And this is what I said in the previous video. They're probably paying off lawyers, paying off attorneys, you know, people that absolutely want this to happen. He's probably also Indian, so it makes sense that he'd do this because it's in his interest. I mean,
just be the guy, the attorney, the Better Call Saul of LCAs.
So I called Shand Parvathaneni, an Indian immigration attorney who files LCAs and H-1B petitions on behalf of countless companies with ghost offices that I visited throughout this video. Could he perhaps explain what was going on here? But real quick, Patreon banned me for noticing too much. Now you can support our work at tylerraw.com to get access to videos we can't upload on YouTube, exclusive bonus content, and early access to all of these videos before they go up on YouTube for as low as $5 a month. Go check it out at tylerraw.com. Thanks for your support, and back to the
video. Man, my money's going towards my game.
I know I keep seeing your name pop up.
Sure. And like I said, I mean, I want you to ask anything and everything because this program has a problem. You want the best for this country, I want the best for this country.
Listen, we've gone through the LCAs. I see your name pop up, over 20,000 times from 2020 through the end of 2025. Yeah, and you're saying the burden to update all this information is on behalf of the employer to then update you, who then complies with the paperwork and gets it all handled, right? Is that?
That is correct. And number of times we see a lot of companies don't do it, which means they're not complying.
Sure.
And my responsibility is not to go, I keep on educating them, but if they don't do it, there's a site visit and the employee is not working where they're supposed to. Any non-immigrant person in this country, anybody, they have to let USCIS know where they live. It's a mandatory responsibility. The government has access to the systems. So when you talk about fraud, the fraud is not fraud that I know. Somebody's benched. That is where things start going haywire. The company doesn't start paying them. The employee is not working. And that is where it starts, not at the time of filing, because at the time of filing it's very easy.
Come on, Sean, let's not be silly. But also, you could file a bunk LCA filing, right, and just put as many of those out there.
What good it would do to somebody to...
Well, you can file it, and maybe within the first 6 months, you have everyone there, but then they just they're off, they're somewhere else, a lot of companies have their employees travel. I mean, you can be complying up until a point, and then they were like, oh, well, we don't have to do this because you worked for a certain amount of months at the location. They're probably at the location at one point, and then they just went off. So you can have a compliance up until a certain point.
Be obligated to say, hey, I want to pay somebody $100,000 and $30,000 in taxes. You just tell me.
I mean, let's say you get money and you get a lot of it, and you don't have a moral backbone.
No, we don't get a lot of it. But I don't. I mean,
oh, come on. I know you're killing it. That's great. I mean,
no.
USA,
No.
Awesome,
I tell you one. It's a law firm. There are other attorneys working, and that is where the problem is. And then the fees is one of the lowest in the industries.
Come on, I know what lawyers make. Come on.
For a different perspective, I want to show.
And again, there's a lot of there's probably a lot of red tape for that guy, but I also absolutely understand that he is the attorney is gaming the system. I mean, you don't make as much money as he does, or as much money as attorneys in his situation where he is the go-to guy without cutting corners, without understanding, okay, they're not going to do this, but as long as I make it look like it doesn't fall back on me. Like, obviously, and again, you can say this really about most situations and most positions like that. Like, every single body else is using a loophole to get ahead, but you, the American who has to work for a fucking living like a fucking idiot, is not. And the question is, when can I start using loopholes? When is that something I can do? Again, I'm told, no, you're not allowed to do it. Why? I mean, if everyone else is doing it, why the fuck can't I?
Show you an office in Plano of one of the largest IT staffing companies on Earth. Tata Consultancy. Companies like Tata built the blueprints for these rink-a-dink mom-and-pop staffing companies with ghost offices we've been visiting. But the difference is they have real offices and real H-1B Indians doing work in the places they say they are at a massive scale. They proved to corporate America is that they could outsource IT work to an Indian firm like theirs, get the job done with H-1B workers at a fraction of the cost of directly hiring Americans, and they could hold their H-1B Indian army captive due to their visa being tied to them. Ultimately,
it's modern day slavery. Like, or I guess slavery is too kind of a big of a stretch. Like serfdom. I mean, serfs still got paid. Now it was pennies, right? They got paid literally nothing, and like a fifth of that was reaped from them regardless. Yeah, they got their little huts, and they were on the Lord's land. But they still worked it. Yeah, they will raise their families on what little they can. It's literally serfdom.
companies like Tata are at the forefront of the replacement of skilled American laborers in exchange for cheaper, interchangeable, and captive H-1B Indians. For example, in 2015, last job of IT workers for Disney World Orlando was to train their H-1B replacements in 90 days that had been brought over by Cognizant. If these employees didn't train their new replacements, they were not eligible for bonuses or their severance packages. In fact, big outsourcing firms like Tata rarely even bother to sponsor green cards and often just import a new wave of H-1B Indians to replace the previous one once their visa expires. I pulled up to one of these outsourcing.
Absolutely. It's like, oh, what? You worked here for a couple years, let go. They just shovel them through and like, okay, bring more, bring more. I mean, yeah, I'll be honest. Like, you gotta respect. Well, I don't respect T-Mobile and companies that will sell out Americans just to make more money. But I respect these firms because they're just playing the system, playing the loophole. Like, I can respect them for doing it. And hell, they probably don't think they're doing anything wrong. And they're like, wow, we're allowed to do this. And they're like, yeah. It's like, well, fuck, man.
Outsourcing firms' offices in Plano just to see the H-1B Indian spawner hole in the flesh.
Hi. We're here to verify that 12 of the LCAs filed on behalf of 12 H-1B employees are on site and they have the paperwork on the wall.
Okay, let me look for one.
Excuse me, do you work on behalf of Tata? Yeah. Are you H-1B? Yeah. Okay.
This place was teeming with Indians whose sole job was to replace you lazy Americans watching this video.
Hi, my name's Tyler.
Well, do you have an appointment or pre-approval?
No appointment needed. Thanks so much. What is your name? Are you the manager? Oh, okay.
I would like to know things. That's the reason I'm asking you.
Sure. Have a great day.
Keep in mind, these H-1B employees are on non-immigrant work visas. They are temporary guests.
Don't shoot us, please.
Okay, no worries.
No, what is this for?
We're conducting a worksite inspection. Here to verify a few things, we'll be out of the office.
Okay, I won't do that.
And pursuant to 20 CFR Section 655.760, any member of the public can demand the public access file.
Yeah.
Failure to make this information available within 1 working day is a violation.
Brief worksite.
And this should be something that's in every industry. Like you, the consumer, you, the American, should be like, okay, how many people are working here? How much money this takes? And you need to have this shit on file, right? And if you don't, that's a violation.
Inspection, we're not trying to cause any trouble.
Imagine if you came to another country on a temporary visa, started smacking people's cameras. Give me a break.
Yeah.
Do you work here?
Yes, I will.
Okay, what's your name? We just want to see if the LCAs that have been filed for the H-1Bs here are publicly visible to the employees here. They should be on the wall.
If you were USCIS,
Yeah.
if you're an agent, if you were government,
Yeah.
we could absolutely let you in. You're not, so
Yeah.
we're not going to allow that.
As per 20 CFR 655, H-1B labor condition application regulations, and 8 USC 1182N, you guys need to show the paperwork.
We would, to a government agency.
That's not what the law says.
Okay, you can take that up with our
Sure.
immigration
We will,
office
yeah.
in Rockville, Maryland.
Sure. You're not going to show it. Okay. Well, thanks for popping your head out. You are not in compliance. We appreciate your time.
6010 West Spring Creek Parkway, 4 IT staffing companies, 95 total LCAs, 38 H-1B conversions.
There is no one home. Hi. Doing good. Ever seen anyone come in here? There should be 18 people working out of here.
This is our virtual
Yeah.
office. There's 5 of us, but we just we can work from home.
This doesn't even have enough room for 5 people,
Yeah.
much less 18.
It's just a little cubby hole.
Worksite inspection.
We have a building permit signage here indicating this place has been under renovation or construction since March 6, 2025. Where have the employees gone to work the last year? According to what I'm seeing here, there should be 30.
Yeah, and they're probably saying, oh, they work from home or all that, or that they work anywhere but the office. But the thing is, if that's the case, well, then why have the office? Like, the point probably of that is to have them employees at the physical location, but they're not.
People working on site.
Your call has been forwarded to the voicemail for resource volume select. No one is available to take your call.
And the difference between what a real H-1B worksite should look like compared to all of these ghost offices or seemingly staged worksites was immediately apparent.
Hey, are you Siusa? Siusa Inc.? Siusa?
Yes.
How many people are on site right now?
Right now?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Where are you from, by the way?
From Germany.
Germany, okay. We do need to see those LCAs, though, and then we're out of your hair.
Idris, I can forward this email document to you.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll write down. I mean, listen, hear me out. I know you have attorney-client privilege. Just be real with me, though. You meet these guys, they talk to you. How often do you think you're signing off on fraud?
0.
Now that you've
Zero.
seen these offices
If I know
that
the
people have knocked
Yeah.
on the doors,
He probably thinks, no, this is fine. He's probably working 100% off the docket. Well, not 100%, but a good portion off the docket. It's just the system itself exists so that Americans lose and is in H-1B visa holders gain. Like, the system itself is the problem. He's just a cog in the machine. I mean, he's a relatively big cog, right? But he's just a cog.
empty offices.
Lights off, no one home, 3 p.m.
The complete shell offices with ghost employees. No one can find where they work. You really think it's 0?
If you say that is there fraud that is found after the fact, yes.
There should be 3 people for Widespan LLC on site. There should be 1 person on site for Upward Innovations LLC. There should be 2 people on site for NK Technolabs.
There's like hardly anybody here today.
I'll tell you what USCIS does. Times USCIS will come back and say, hey, we went to an address. This employee does not work over there. What exactly is going on? We want to revoke your H-1B. And then I go back to the employer. Hey, this is what USCIS has found. Now there's a problem. Do you have what exactly happened? Because you have to find out. Does it always mean that it's fraud? No, because I'll tell you an example where it might not be fraud. A guy is working in Verizon, for example, in Dallas as a software developer, 6 months contract, and they reassign him to another project for, say, Dr. Pepper, again in Dallas. If somebody is still working, still getting paid the same salary, still in the same role, you can change the work site. That is not a material change.
You would have
So
to
when you get an
amend the
RFP, you
LCA,
talk.
right?
No, not
wouldn't.
it is not a material change. But if it is Dallas to Dallas, it is not a material change. It's just a different work site in the same city.
UCSIS would need to verify the work site exists, the person exists, they're in the country, they're at the place they've stated they should be. How would that not be a problem?
So USCIS have rules. If it is a different metropolitan statistical area, it is a material change. Instead of working in Dallas, somebody moved to Austin, that is a material change.
UCSIS should be able to point at and say the guy works here, right?
Oh, yes. And sometimes the work site changes. This third party consulting the work site could keep changing, because
That's
in this
crazy.
case, the same LCA. Yeah, and
Crazy.
that is a problem, and that is what I'm
Wow.
saying. And this is what people.
Complete
Yeah.
lack of transparency.
And that
That's
is where.
wild to me. That's mind-blowing, actually. What Chand revealed to me is that employers have 0 legal obligation to amend the LCA if the H-1B employee is working within the same metropolitan statistical area. This Dallas-Fort Worth-Arlington Metroplex encompasses 13 North Texas counties, 9,286 square miles, with more than 200 incorporated cities and towns.
So they go to this place, and this is probably why there's so fucking many of them there. Because they go there to that area. And then, okay, again, maybe they work there for a couple of years, a month, 2 months, 3 months, are actually on that site. but then they're moved to like T-Mobile in the same county, but then they're moved into another place in the same county, and they don't gotta say anything. Like, they don't gotta amend it or anything. That's wild.
Oh, an IT staffing company like the ones we've seen can file an LCA listing at a ghost office in Frisco and then freely move that H-1B worker to a client site in downtown Dallas, Arlington, Fort Worth, Plano, Irving, McKinney, Denton, or any of the 200 plus cities and towns across 13 counties without ever filing a new LCA or amending the H-1B petition. So, on a day-to-day basis...
It's probably this way because it happens so many goddamn times that they're like, you know what? If we have to file it, say, a couple thousand times a month, like, we'd just be completely stacked, so let's just stop doing it. Or maybe have there's probably a system where it's kind of done, but it's not really an official thing, but they still know where these people are. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy.
USCIS does not know where the employee works, the DOL doesn't know, the client is not required to report anything to anyone, and the system, by design, is blind as to where this H-1B employee actually works, allowing plenty of room for things like underpayment, misrepresented job duties, and proxy work from India going unnoticed.
And again, that's the problem. Well, that's where the problem is. It's like, okay, we don't know where they are. They don't admit anything. Okay, they can be being paid, like, say, 50 grand, just as a base. But then they move somewhere, and now they're being paid 40 grand. They're shuffled somewhere else, and now they're paid 30 grand. Like, and there's nothing the employee can do about it, right? Because it's not updated, or they're not, telling anyone. And again, in his position, how much malicious compliance, like what percentage of malicious compliance is he doing? I'd say like probably maybe even only 20%. And I say only 20% because for fraud to happen, you need at least 80-90% malicious compliance. But in his particular case, it's probably like 20%. He probably knows they're not doing it, and he's like, oh, I gotta call these people. He's just making the phone calls. They're just coming to him. They stay at the work site for a limited amount of time, but then move. I mean, I don't think he's not really doing all that much. He's just the attorney. He's the Better Call Saul that gets them in. But past that, he just let them loose.
Contract is what shows there is availability of work. The problem with fraud, the contract is for 6 months. Everything goes good. Then what? Is somebody on the bench? That is fraud. Is the employer not paying the employee? That is fraud. That is where there is a big problem with H-1B. That is all the
on the bench
starts.
for 6 months.
Hey, this company doesn't exist now. When we call, there's no company. For example, on the day they filed, no, the company was there. Otherwise, because you guys have their own big check, they will catch in 1 minute if the company doesn't exist. So I don't think the fraud is at that point. The fraud maybe 6 months, 1 year when the project is over, the company is not paying this guy this salary, and this employee is not getting paid. The guy is getting benched. That is where all the fraud starts. And now, like you said, clearly, how do you detect that fraud? In my opinion, the government has access to the databases. Click up a button.
While listening to Chand, it's clear the system, by design, demands little to no real transparency and heavily relies on the employer operating in good faith. Clearly, USCIS...
And obviously, again, you and I know that's not the case. Like, again, what percentage of malicious compliance in these with the employers? 50, 60, maybe let's just say 50%, but it's the combined percentage of all these of the malicious compliance and all these systems where you get fraud in the 80 and 90 on average for the whole system of malicious compliance that allows these things to happen. And that's just the malicious compliance. We're not even talking about, that's just the person that's just a paper pusher trying to meet a quota, trying to pass this shit along, doing their job, like shitty minimum wage job. We're not even talking about people who have an active incentive to allow this shit to happen. We're not even talking about them. Just the malicious compliance part. You know, something that exists in every company.
USCIS was not inspecting all of these work sites to verify their legitimacy, begging the question, where are these Indians?
I feel like I'm in a library right now. Icon IT Solutions, here you are. We have 13 LCAs.
Open up, goddammit.
Okay, next. Beyond.
Hello? Is this ESK? Okay, hi. My name's Tyler.
Hey, man.
Good to meet you. What do you guys do?
It's a software development.
Okay. Where do you guys put your LCAs, your H1Bs?
H1Bs?
Yes.
Like H1B guys?
Yes.
Oh, are you from ICE?
No. We're just doing a little video.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
H1B guys, like these guys are.
Exactly, yes. Because we keep showing up to like empty offices. You're the first office we've shown up to with human life.
Yeah, you can pick out.
We can check it out?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. Hi.
And this is my office. We don't have much H1Bs.
Yeah.
I think only three H1.
Three.
You said you know how these guys operate like a minute ago.
No. I mean, like, most of them, the offices are empty.
So tell me about that. So I want to make sure we make the difference because we've knocked on a few empty offices that appear to be like shell offices, like ghost offices.
Oh, okay.
Are you familiar with that term?
I'm familiar with the sale companies,
Okay.
but not familiar with a lot of people here because I don't talk with a lot of neighbors.
Okay, so why do some people rent out the offices but they never actually show up, never do any work?
Maybe most of them work remotely because most of the IT works are remote.
Okay.
But I don't allow actually to do the remote work. I prefer my guys to be here.
Okay, thanks again.
Yeah.
Hey, enjoy the game. See you guys.
This guy brought.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Like, they're probably there, but either they're working from home or they're working in another company. I mean, that was kind of the thing over COVID, working from home, and well, a lot of these software companies never really stepped out from that. So, but still, they have the paperwork. They probably have the employee on file. It's just if they move to another company in the same county or in that cluster of counties, they don't have to actually give that information, which is probably where you get the lowering of salaries, or if they're not being paid at what they have to be paid. You know, the replacing the American workers and just being shuffled around like lower paid workforce. Like, that's where the problem comes from.
Up a good point. What happens when our H-1B prodigies are working remotely from home? I pulled up to Houston and met up with Nick Plum, a former Amazon L7 engineer laid off by Amazon, who has been speaking out against the Indianification of America. And we began our inspection of an apartment complex with several H-1B work sites listed as the apartments these Indians lived in. They're required to have a public access file available the moment an LCA is filed, and it must be accessible at the employer's worksite within 1 day of filing. Let's see who has their paperwork in order.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm an office call.
Tyler. How are you?
I'm good.
Do you want to show me?
That's not an office. I'm an office call.
Okay.
Okay. We're here to review your public access files because this is a corporate work site for foreign workers. You should have your LCAs posted and your public access files available for review. Do you have those available for review?
Hi.
Hello.
Daima? Good to meet you, Tyler. You work on behalf of Cognizant?
Yes, I do.
You should have a public access file for review.
What do you mean by public access file?
But what it includes is the LCA, your labor condition application. It includes the prevailing wage study. Whenever your job is. If you'd like to have
Sure.
Okay. So this is my worksite.
What you're really seeing here is how rare USCIS compliance is, and how before remote work was common, at least you had a corporate office where the public access file could be filed and LCA notices could be posted on a wall. When the H-1B's worksite is now just this guy's apartment, all of this info becomes harder to verify and easier to fake. While the Department of Labor doesn't have enough resources for in-person audits like these, they did create a provision to allow members of the public to demand the same info. The only problem is, nobody ever does. And of course, we stumbled into this engineer vibe coding in real time. Just look at this guy's screen.
By law, you should have it here physically ready for me to
most of the PWD petitions I have, right?
Okay.
And whatever benefits like medical, vision, and then dental, all those medicals, whatever has been provided as part of my LCR petitions. So I do have it.
We will be reporting that we were unable to review the public access file locally.
Yeah.
So what's your job title? It's How
My
does it does
job title is senior manager. I work for a client called Marriott Hotels. Marriott Hotels and Systems.
They had your client secured before your arrival into the United States?
Yes.
Okay.
This is my second client.
Okay.
My first client is Energy. It's an energy company. Cognizant is my employer.
Sure.
They have the right to hire, fire, everything done.
Yeah, and here is one person that actually has all that shit on file, and again, working from home. But this is probably where a lot of them, like, because I'm wondering, do a lot of them work from home, but still technically work at the companies? Or like in another county, but they're just working from home there? It's kind of what I'm wondering.
I'm reporting to my supervisor, Cognizant. I'm enjoying my medical benefits, 401k. Cognizant is giving me the stocks at the discount to all my employees.
Doing all that stuff.
Okay. Yes, I'm enrolling it. Yes, I have a family. I'm using medical.
Cool.
The computer that he was working on, it was like a $299 HP computer. We come in, we see ChatGPT up on the screen.
Yeah.
He's not doing anything. I think the biggest myth that we have.
I mean, yeah. And again, if he's getting paid for that, brother, I do the same fucking thing. It's like, but it's, again, this is someone who's worked there probably isn't a good portion of his life. Who's going to hire him back? Like, no wonder he's pissed off, because he could have retired. He could have retired from there and been like, yeah, then that would have been fine. No, they're laying these people off in a way where they don't get their retirement, don't get any severance from that, and that absolutely would piss them
Is this
off.
high-skilled immigration thing.
Sure.
I think it's a lie. I think most of the immigration that we're getting is not highly skilled. I'll try to quantify. I'd say
maybe 5% of it is, but then those 5%, the attorneys, the people who, I don't know, work in HR, senior, like, management from the H-1B programs are now allowing from the same program those that are not that skilled, or they have maybe a Microsoft Team, Microsoft Team, like, whatever, a certificate. Like, it's the ones that probably were that are hiring the people that are not skilled labor or not into those positions, replacing him.
70% of the folks that I actually saw hired and worked around couldn't do the job. Okay. When we needed the top tier engineer, they worked in Ireland. It's like it's just easier to hire. You've got a network of people that are willing to relocate. If I'm sitting here in Texas, not paying taxes, I may not want to relocate to California.
Sure.
But if I'm sitting in India and I want to do anything I can in my power to get out of India, I'm willing to relocate to California, pay those taxes and the high utility bills, etc. Not classically trained in computers. I self-taught effectively, and I did that through on-the-job training. Like, if you're a pretty smart person, which a lot of Americans are, we're not doing things that are super complex, right? Sure. Business analytics you can learn, and especially with AI now, you don't have to have years of training learning how to write SQL. You can, hey Grok, help me understand how to join these tables, or write a query to do this. What we're not seeing is that shift away from a foreign reliance on labor into, like, adapting our new technology and understanding that these aren't critical skills anymore. They're not unique skills. Like, we're not getting super geniuses.
Do you think the companies need to hire?
Yeah, and again, I think the Indians are doing the same thing that he's saying. It's like, they don't really need to be trained all that much. Dude had ChatGPT up helping him with the job, and to be fair, they're probably being shoved into the positions where you don't require one dude who's probably paid $200,000 a year to do that job. You can have 4 dudes, 5 dudes, 6 dudes that are only being paid $30,000 a year as a team, be paid less than what that one dude getting paid $200,000, and that's just the flat pay. The benefits, like, it probably costs, like, the company about $1 million just to keep that guy in, the guy talking about this, right? about $1 million to keep him in, where he can hire the H-1B for about a tenth that much, or a team of them for about a tenth that much.
Citizens or U.S. workers before they go about and hire somebody in H-1B?
Yes.
The current rules. Unfortunately, no. The answer is no, which is where the biggest problem is.
I see.
And that is what I want to highlight.
For every American, right? You would hope they would assess the American workforce before we start scouring overseas, right?
We're seeing graduate.
No, there again with AI, what you see is companies are just jumping on it, regardless of if it's something useful, regardless of rather it's something that can be applied. They rush to it as fast as they can, or they probably have some level of investment into it, and they want to see how they can use it again to hire for the H-1Bs to replace like 5 or 6 H-1Bs to replace one American worker, who was there for a long time, costing the company about a couple million just to keep them in, right? You see this with companies all the time. They do take risks, sometimes stupid, ridiculous ones with AI. And again, like I said before, AI is not as good as companies want it to be. Again, give it like 10 years and it probably will be. But right now, it's just not. Companies are jumping onto it. They probably have an investment from an AI company to have it implemented at one point, or maybe at small scales, but it's just not where, again, you think it is with the cyberpunk universe type shit. It's not there yet.
It's come out of a 4-year college degree and are unable to find a job like what this guy was working. Is this guy vastly more talented than the graduate that's coming out of college? Is it just because he already has 10 years of experience? He's the go-to hire?
I mean, our college graduates are competing with a system that is built to disadvantage them, to be honest. And here's the ways, right? Like, I can write a job posting and I can require 10 different tech skills. One of them may be 8 years old. It's antiquated.
Sure.
But by adding this antiquated requirement onto a job posting, any recent grad is not going to have that. Now I can filter them out as a technical recruiter.
Sure.
And if you're not getting algorithmic...
Yeah, a lot of them have AI that does it for them, right? Like, a job post is posted that, you absolutely fit that job description. We see this like all the time with companies that are always hiring, but then you apply to it and you don't get the job, even though you're absolutely 100% qualified. You just still don't get it. And we have that here in Indiana, and a lot of people I talk to is in the same situation. But imagine in IT where the system actively works to disadvantage Americans. Like, yeah, people are going to be mad at that. And again, people want to, people think about their family and their friends. It's like, okay, well, how could I raise a family if I can't get a job? None of my family members can get a job, or my friends around me can't get a job, because the system exists just to disadvantage them.
We filter it out of job postings on LinkedIn. You can find job postings online hiring H-1Bs only. What a racket.
Hi there. How are you? You know where Suite 678 might be? It might not even be in here.
It's a mailbox. It's not an actual physical.
It's a mailbox. Okay, so yeah, we're just trying to confirm.
These and see if they're actual suites.
Yes.
Yeah.
678 is the first one.
Anything that's over a 200 is not going to be here.
Okay, so 534.
No.
Because they're reporting there's people working at that mailbox. Like, they work inside that mailbox then. 1167.
No, these are all like literal mailboxes that I put pieces of mail in and I take packages.
324.
Anything over 200 is not going to be here.
Okay.
Yeah, and just so you're aware, they're reporting to the USCIS that there are humans working inside these mailboxes.
Well, if they can fit in a mailbox this size, then sure.
Yeah. Awesome.
Okay, we have our answers. There was zero level of scrutiny at play here.
Zero.
What is our economy?
But what happens when...
And again, there's probably thousands of situations like this, and at one point, you get probably thousands of these like a month, or every half a month, and at one point you're just like, okay, well, just just stamp off on all of them. And again, if you have that level of malicious compliance where you're just being told to just stamp off regardless,
An Indian
that's
comes
what
here
you're
on an
gonna
F1
get.
visa to study with the hopes of getting an H1B visa and eventually a green card, and things don't go according to plan.
Raj, why are you here in Texas? What's going on?
I just came for my my further studies, like masters. I'm from India. I'm coming from Mumbai. Mumbai is my home country. That's why I like this country.
Do you like USA or India more?
India more, but for my further studies, I have to come here.
And how difficult was it for you to move your whole life to the USA and come study here?
It's really challenging when I'm coming to here. It's gonna be a long story behind that. I have to do a lot of interviews, and it's gonna be depend on them if they want to give them a visa or not. It's a really big story. We have to do a lot of hard work on that. Even when we came here, we don't know where we have to live, what is going to happen here, nothing, we don't know.
And how old are you?
I'm just like 23. This is a country that we can just make our future, just we can study and do hard work. If we work here, we can get a good jobs and everything, but from our heart, we are connected to our country. And there are lots of Indians, they are doing a lot of things to do to stay here legally.
Where do you live? Do you live with like roommates?
Yeah, I live with my roommates. Before we are going to live, when I came here, it was like a really tough thing. Yeah. That's why in a 2-bedroom hall, we are living like 10 members.
10 people?
Yeah, to save our money.
Sure.
Yeah, it's really hard working at that time.
So how did these folks get brought here? Well, that's where I started to tie it together to what I was seeing at work. We had a major hub in Dallas. I had 2 people on my team that were hired in on H-1Bs to work in Dallas. Well, they have children, and those children get a visa called the H-4 visa. Their spouses get the H-4 visa. I don't know, maybe the missing point for a lot of people here is when you're on an H-4 visa and you go to high school in Texas and you graduate from high school in Texas, you were not an international student. So there's guardrails in place at places like UT to ensure that you don't have these massive demographic changes. Well, those guardrails fail when all of a sudden these folks are classified as residents. I find it very interesting, Tyler, that we have folks on H-1Bs acting as technical recruiters. The person doing the vetting is, they're not American.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. The people being hired into this, again, the 5% that are being hired that are probably the skilled workers they're talking about, are letting in the people who are not, the skilled workers from H-1B visas, and just letting them in. And they're letting them in the companies, they're letting them in these, hiring firms are doing the hiring, and you create a situation like this.
They don't have that, underlying, for the home team, skin in the game.
Most people that come from, let's say, Mumbai, do they have plans of staying longer?
Most of our from my country, they just focus on we will get our degree and we will come back. But the thing is that they are not thinking to go back to our country. Why? Because the thing is that in our country there are jobs, there are a lot of jobs, but what they pay, they are not satisfied with that pay.
So if everything goes your way, would you like to be a permanent citizen here?
It's not only my dream, everyone dreams like that to get a green card or permanent residence in United States of America. Why? Because we already spent our 3 years here.
What do our college graduates lack? Is it tenacity and skill and intellect? Are Americans stupid, Nick?
No, the system just exists to disenfranchise you. People would gladly work the sewer job, the trash compact, construction. The people gladly work these jobs, but if they're getting taxed, if they're not being given the respect they want, they're going to get pissed off. And again, in a situation like this, where they're being actively disenfranchised, because it's not like there aren't people that can't learn the job or they don't have the college experience. They're in a situation where they're actively being disenfranchised and being looked over for the H-1B that can be paid less, right? That's the problem. And again, it's that level of malicious compliance and of malicious actions. The Indian probably doesn't think they're doing the wrong thing. They're like, of course I'm going to hire other Indians Like, it only makes sense. Like, that's their culture. Unfortunately, it's happening here in America, and that's the problem.
I think we're naive, I'll be honest. I think we've operated in a high-trust society for a very long time. I mean, as a father of kids, I raised them to do the right thing, to work hard, to go to school, to get the good grades. And I used to tell them, like, if you grind, you'll be fine. Yeah. Like, that we are a meritocracy. I actually am doubting that. Right? I've changed my messaging to them.
Yeah. What is the messaging now?
Well, now it's you still need to do the right thing, but you also have to understand you are competing in a system that is built structurally to disadvantage you.
How much money does it cost for you to come all the way from Mumbai to Houston, Texas?
To here, I already spent like 35, almost $40,000.
So that's a lot of money in India. How do most people afford to get here?
Everyone do like that. They have some savings in our country. Some savings like out their fathers or something. They have some goal or something. They are struggling hard to get a degree and a job here. They are selling their homes in our country to only just to visit the United States of America. They are selling homes. They are selling their like savings and everything, the gold and everything. And when they are coming here, they are not satisfied. Why? Because after all these things, the IT job market is no more. No, we are not getting good jobs and nothing like that.
Who benefits from importing?
And again, I think it's also the caste system, right? Regardless of there are caste systems you come from where America's a good thing, and there's the system where it's like, well, I mean, it's probably like if you're in the higher caste and you have wealthy parents, you probably send your kids to America to get the jobs, and they're probably not satisfied. They want to live off mommy and daddy's money, but they're like, well, you're not going to be a fucking parasite.
Infinite labor from all over the planet.
I mean, I think there's a bunch of beneficiaries to this.
Who's winning right now?
Yeah, well, it's not the youth.
Sure.
It's not the American worker. It is big capital. These folks don't have freedom of movement. If they're let go, they have 60 days to find a new job, or they have to leave the country, or really what ends up happening is they just change status to a new visa.
Sure.
But they should leave the country.
If you can't get a job in IT, what's your plan?
The last option, if I will not get a job, even I also find a girl on the dating places.
Any nice Indian girls?
No, not an Indian girls.
Who?
One white and one Mexican. White women, they are not like a greedy. Some of them like a greedy, but everyone not is greedy. But in Mexicans, you cannot trust them.
What have you seen? What have they done to you?
One of my friend's story. So he's just thinking to what to do, and he's trying to get a jobs and a lot of things. After that, all the hard working, he's not getting a job. So he find a girl. So first my friend said, "Oh, I like you. Can I get your number or something?"
Okay.
And then they went for the dates and everything. My friend, he said to their Mexican girls, "Oh, can I ask you for the favor? It's not only my favor, it's yours too. Why? Because you are struggling hard, so it's really good for you too. So can we do a marriage just to fix my papers?"
Sure.
So she said, "Yeah, okay then."
Did they get married?
Yeah, they get married, and the thing is that after they getting married, and she said, "I have some conditions, like when she is going to sign the papers, she wants like $5,000 in her first month."
Well, let's look at Amazon, right? They laid off 16,000 people January 28th, 15,000 in October. I am sure those were not only Americans. In fact, I know of at least one that wasn't an American. Now, the difference between her and I is I'm sitting here, right? I'm not worried about being deported. My visa's not going to get lapsed. And these folks, I mean, they bought cars on 5-year notes. Their entire family will be uprooted. They may even have a kid here that's now an American by birthright citizenship. When someone has that much to lose, you can really compel them to do anything you want.
Then you see...
Yeah, and again, that level of coercion. It's like, yeah, if their entire livelihood is getting uprooted, yeah, they're going to be aggressive. They're going to come together as a block and do everything in their power to have the system that benefits them to keep them there over the Americans. And that's the problem.
Giving up everything in order to fulfill this dream or get their kids from this status of being lower or middle class to upper middle class and beyond. They may sell the family farm for all that, right?
Back home, their families are becoming millionaires, so to speak.
Oh yeah, multimillionaires, right? They're wealthy. And so I think we just we created that gold rush
And this is a torta?
Got him.
Oh, shit. Okay.
And after that, she is telling, like, this is my first thing, this is my first condition, and now listen my second condition. Every month you have to pay me like on the payments, like every month $1,000. After that, in additional to, you have to pay some of my rent, some of my bills.
So it's like a real marriage now.
Yeah, but she don't want to sleep with my friend.
And she doesn't want to have sex.
Yeah, no, she don't want anything.
Oh, she just wants the money.
Just want money. Even my friend, after they got married.
Yeah.
At the time, he already gave $5,000 to her. After she receiving $5,000, she is like disappear. She's not responding. She's not receiving the calls and everything. She's just ignoring him. When she needs money, when she gets a time for her payment, she's calling, oh, where are you? He asks for the money. Where is my payment for this month? I'm doing your work from last 2 days and you're not paying for me. When she got her money for the payments, for the first payment month, then she
disappeared again?
She did the same thing.
She'll come back the next month for more money. And this friend, this isn't about you?
The thing,
you're not the friend, right?
I'm the person.
You
got him.
You are?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. This happened to you.
Mm-hmm. I heard I did a lot of hard work, like 8 to 9 months to get that money, and the beach she took in 2 months.
How is it being an Indian in 2026 here in Texas?
Oh, here they are thinking like they are seeing us like they are thinking, oh, Indians, you are Indians, you are not our category. You just be aside. One homeless came to my store. And he's telling me, like, he's asking me, oh, can I get the lighter? I said, okay, you have to pay for that lighter. He's telling me like, this is my country. I'm just fed up with these things.
Really?
Yeah. From only just from 2 months, what I say.
She ruined the whole experience.
All the things, all the dreams.
Yeah.
I once talked to a guy, 27 years.
Yeah, and again, I'm sure every situation is different, right? He's in the situation where he thought he was, he thinks he's benefiting, but no, he's just being taken advantage of as well in the situation, and there's nothing he can do about it. He's just sort of caught here, but yeah, this guy's situation was like, yeah, I mean, we've been too naive, too open-minded, and again, this level of empathy that allows yourself to be taken advantage of. It's like, no one wants to be in that situation.
United States, not a citizen. And I'm not saying they should be citizens. I'll be real clear. I think they should have departed after 3 years, period. But they've been here, bound to their employer. That's a shit system. It doesn't benefit anybody. And then we have to think about the problems that it gives to their kids. They come over here with their kid. Their kid can stay on the H4 until they're 21. They age out of the system. Now, maybe they have to move back to India where they don't have any family. There's no angle that you can take that says this H-1B is good
not
unless
like
you are
it
big
should happen. It was a DEI.
There's not.
GDP goes up.
GDP goes up.
And I read today that there is 104 million people that are not employed or seeking employment in the United States right now. It's a lot of people. Like, are we in too deep?
We probably are.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the depressing thing.
I think we need to pause all H-1Bs.
Moratorium.
You have to look at illegal immigration versus legal immigration.
Sure.
And right now, I think the nation, by the mandate that was given to Trump in the House in Congress when we, was 2024, it showed that we had the appetite. We wanted mass deportations. We wanted to, end illegal immigration. But now here we are, a couple years into it. You hear the messaging changing away from mass deportations to only criminals. The reason I bring that up is if you don't have the appetite to handle illegal immigration correctly or, authoritatively, you're not going to have the appetite to do what needs to happen to put the genie back in the bottle.
Yeah, and that's what I'm talking. Like, it pisses me off that Trump is not acting like he will complain about a thing, but he would never act on it. And it's like, bro, what the fuck? It's like, I get it, like 1,000 things are coming at you. It's like, and to be fair, internationally, I suppose he's doing all right, again, in a way that benefits him and that raises the gas prices. But domestically, you have situations like these where Tyler, Nick Shirley, and a bunch of other people point out, and these are systems that probably existed for years, But now people are pointing it the fuck out because you can't pull the wool over people's eyes anymore. They see this stuff happening with their own eyes and they're speaking on it.
For the legal aspect. Any of those guys that are simping for the Indians or the immigration lawyers, fuck you. This is America, this is my nation, this is my kid's inheritance, fuck you. The system is broken and we need to fix it.
In my exit interview, they go, hey, we're replacing you guys, we're getting rid of the whole team, and we're replacing you guys with Indians. Yeah, I swear to God. I looked them dead in the eye and go, you guys know I'm Indian, right? Like, no, you don't get it. We're getting rid of you. We're moving the job to India to be done by Indians from India who live there, who will do it cheaper.
Yes.
And in that moment, I turned into every one of your fathers. I was like, these goddamn Indians are taking our jobs.
You can't flood the country with tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of foreign workers.
You also do have to bring in talent. When
we have plenty of talented people here.
No, you don't.
We don't have talented.
I think he was kind of speaking off the cuff, and I feel like Trump has this information. It's like in the past 4 years, before that, when people were just let go, they're forced to work from home. Like no new people were being created to fill this work spot. Like in his mindset, he thinks this is a bad thing. But the fact of the matter is, it's really not as bad. And obviously, you gotta let in people from other countries. That would be a net benefit. The problem is with the H-1B visa, it's not. It's a net deficit to the American citizen. So this is one of those situations where he has a completely different worldview. He thinks of things completely different than the average American. I think this is just why, even amongst other Republicans, he completely fails to get that across. Like he's always up for complaining about certain things, but never actually follow through with them. And I think in this case, he kind of spoke out his ass.
No, you don't have certain talents, and people have to learn.
Yeah, and again, how many years do you think? 10-ish years to learn those. But again, the problem is you're not letting in the people that have this experience. You're firing people that have the experience and letting in someone who absolutely doesn't. Which was the problem. I was going to do a video on that, but man, that was so fucking long ago. Deodorant sales down 33% in Frisco, Texas. Got him. He's back and not suicidal. Kanda says, hold my beer. Yep. Any managers will only hire their own, pretty much without exception. Yeah. I mean, America's the only people who don't really think this way. But if you have an Indian manager or an HR lady or whoever, these companies are just going to prefer hiring other Indians. Always homeland first, but somehow they never actually live there. Again, it's their culture. Like, India is their motherland, and that's fine. But if you're coming to America, it makes sense that you benefit the culture and the community that you move to over India. That's like the building block of America, to keep a bunch of white people from killing themselves because they're Orthodox or because they're Catholics, and Orthodox are Hungarian and Romanian, right? That's why this exists. Oh, look, Mini Canada got him. He does better journalism than the media. Yeah, because, again, someone like Tyler is the only one who can talk about this shit. And make no mistake, people go after him. People go after Nick Shirley. People try to stop them from doing this, but I think it takes that one specific type of an autistic man, specifically an autistic man, to be like, yeah, I'm going to do it regardless. Come at me. BS companies will go through. just to not pay an American a good wage is just crazy. Yeah. 3 to 33% is insane. Again, you don't get to that without it being deliberate. This is what authentic, credible journalism truly looks like. H1B at 7-Eleven makes absolutely 0 sense. Yeah. I mean, it's effectively serfdom where they can just work low-paying jobs. Downloading this before the do not redeem people mass report it and YouTube deletes it. Facts. As an IT worker with no job, this makes me kind of mad. Again, this absolutely should make people mad. Like, make no mistake, this should infuriate you. If you're not mad at this, then I just don't care your opinion on this situation. This is not immigration, this is replacement. Absolutely. Guys, we can't find skilled labor to work at 7-Eleven. Got him. But yeah, I mean, fucking part 2. I am so glad Tyler Oliveira exists, so he can point this goofy shit out. And I would donate, but god damn it, my money's going towards my game. Like, I like to put my money towards things that is worth putting my money towards. But anyway, that's all I gotta say about this. Peace out.